Over the past 2 days, we've taken a look at what type of military equipment local law enforcement agencies have in our community and how those items are being put to use. So today, Lafayette Police Chief Patrick Flannelly and West Lafayette Police Chief Jason Domkowski join us in the studio to talk more about that program. Gentlemen, thanks so much for coming in. You guys both saw the stories, right?
We did.
Feedback on them, what'd you think? Was it fairly presented to you?
I thought it was fairly encompassing on the equipment that we have. Again, we have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
It's all online on what equipment that we've obtained from the military program. We participated in that program for over 20 years. And the city of West Lafayette, and I think the city of Lafayette both have benefited quite a bit from it.
You know, it would occur to me that the first time this sort of publicly became aware to the public is when your department, the West Lafayette Police Department, got the MRAP. Is that fair to say?
Well, it certainly drew a lot of attention.
Yeah.
I think there was a time when the Peacekeeper garnered a little bit of attention as well, and that was probably one of the first armored vehicles that we brought into the community.
And that's Lafayette's.
Correct.
Currently for a SWAT vehicle, right?
Right,
SRT.
and we've since returned that equipment, and we've moved on to a different piece of equipment. But again, that was something that was much needed, and it was used a lot, and actually many times it was comforting to me personally as a member of our SWAT team to be able to have that equipment to protect us.
When you obtain these pieces of equipment, are you cognizant of the public perception that may lead to?
Specifically on something like an MRAP, we are cognizant of a couple things. One, we ask our officers to put themselves in harm's way at times. We do maintain a SWAT team. We maintain a SWAT team in conjunction with Purdue University, and we have an obligation to provide protection for those officers and protection for the public if need be in a rescue situation. That piece of equipment specifically is a large shield. It's a bulletproof large shield to insert officers into a dangerous situation and possibly extricate people from a dangerous situation where there's gunfire.
Something that Sheriff Brown was unable to join us, but something that the sheriff said that I found pretty interesting in our piece was, if we were using the same hardware that we used in 1984, we would be seriously outgunned. What do you guys see out there?
Well, I think the trend really started in the 80s and really into the 90s, and of course the West Hollywood shootout in Los Angeles that garnered so much attention. That was really probably one of the really first public displays about where the police really needed to start thinking about equipment and tactics, not just for their own protection, but for the protection and the safety of their citizens. They actually had to commandeer vehicles and weapons in that case in order to apprehend those bank robbers. And I think even more recently, post 9/11, the mission for police departments has really grown in scope. And so in light of some of the recent incidents and the discussions about what's occurring in Ferguson and a few other places, if you look at those stories, you can also turn a channel and you can hear about the threats that are coming from overseas and about the very real threats that we're facing from different terrorist organizations. And here in the homeland in the United States, the police departments have a duty and a responsibility to make sure that we're prepared to respond to any type of incident, whether it's a natural disaster or in the unfortunate event of a terrorism event, that we have the equipment and the ability to react quickly and provide that safety.
We've got just about a minute left. I want to ask you guys about training. I'm guessing that training today is not what it was in 1984. What sorts of things do you have to do when you obtain military surplus hardware with your officers?
There is an uptick on that, and there's a conversion aspect as well. Any piece of equipment is not exactly going to be used in the law enforcement realm as it is in the military realm. And there is an education piece with that, and there's a trading aspect. But at the end of the day, really, we like to focus on, we have a safe community. We have the safest college town in the Big Ten, and we like to tout that. But with that, there are people that would put our community in harm's way, and there are people that would put our officers in harm's way. And we have to be able to secure the equipment and the ability, and we're obligated to protect our officers when we ask them to enact in a situation that would put them in danger.
All right. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. It's an interesting topic. I hope you both stay safe out there. And
Thank you. Thank you,
your
Jeff.
men and women as well. We'll be back right after this.